Rock and roll Chicago, rock and roll Chicago, my hometown. Well, I was born in the city, gonna rock the city, Chicago. Chicago rock and rollers are the best year I'm around.
Hey everybody, this is Paul Martin
And Ray the Roadie
for the Rock and Roll Chicago podcast.
This week, we're continuing our series on horn bands that rock with Cadillac Groove. But before that, I want to thank everybody for all the great emails and comments and messages you sent us about the last episode with Jim Peterick. That was really an outstanding show, I thought. So what do you think, Paul?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun with Jim and these guys too are a lot of fun. These Cadillac Groove. I'll tell you one thing about these boys is they love to laugh.
Oh, that they do. I noticed that. Yeah, they like to have a good time, I think, and that's important to, in a group like that. You gotta have a lot of fun.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, you do. And like I said, they love to laugh, and we had a lot of laughs and a fun time with them. We were in Plainfield at what was the name of the place?
I believe it was the Hopscotch and Vine.
Hopscotch and Vine, that's right. Yeah, so it was a fun place, and Felipe, the manager there, took care of us, and we had a lot of fun with them.
Yeah, that was really a good time. It was good seeing those guys. So let's say we start that show off right now.
Sounds good. Here's our interview with Cadillac Groove. Hey, this is Paul Martin
And Ray the Roadie.
for the Rock and Roll Chicago podcast.
Joining us this week are Tom Dixon, Scott Evans, and Mike Metoyer.
There you go.
Cadillac Groove.
Very
How you
good.
doing, guys?
Good. How you doing?
From Cadillac Groove, that's right. So tell us about the band. Now we had a chance to see you pretty recently at the Slapshots, and but tell us how the band got started. And first of all, when did the band get started?
Band started 6 years ago, actually this month, 6 years, and it started out really as kind of a blues band, 4-piece blues band. I really kind of wanted to have a band kind of like what we have now, 8-piece with the horns and the whole 9 yards. But being it was the first band I'd ever started and ran, I had no idea how to even go about doing it.
Right.
I had no idea. I was like, right, so that I can handle a 4-piece blues band, right? And so that's kind of how it started. And then we would book it depending on the show. We'd book it, 4-piece, 5-piece, 6-piece, whatever the budget was.
Nice.
But then we're changing the book every night, right? So the song lists are changing. People are coming out there. They're seeing the whole big band, and then next thing they see us, all of a sudden it's 4 pieces, and they're like, hey, what happened to our horns, right? And now where's all the Blues Brothers tunes and stuff,
Right.
And so about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago.
Who was in the original band? Any of the guys that you played with now?
No, actually,
No?
no. It started out
okay.
John Katke. The very first show was John Katke on guitar, Joey Dreda on guitar. Oh, John Katke was playing keys, actually.
Yeah.
Joey Dreda on guitar, James DiGirolamo on bass, Scott Graleski playing harp, and then me playing drums.
Oh, okay.
So that was, and then it went through, I don't know how many iterations after that of guys, in and out. The current lineup, as it sits right now, kind of as an 8-piece, has been going pretty strong for like 2 years, 2.5 years we've been doing it as an 8-piece. And last summer we basically decided we're not changing. Every show is going to be the whole band, and so now we always go out as the 8-piece no matter what's going on.
Right. Right. So now, Scott, you play guitar,
Yep.
right? And so how long have you been with the band now? A couple years?
I'm at 3.
Yeah, about 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. So I was brought in a couple times.
He's our senior member.
Yeah, when you guys were talking about graduating in 80-something, or I graduated high school in 95, so I'm the senior member but the junior member.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
But no, I was brought in as a ringer a couple times, and then Tom called me up and said, instead of being a guy, you want to be the guy? And I said, okay. And at that time, I had a band, Maxwell Mojo, which was a 8-piece band with horns.
Oh, okay.
So for me, I think part of it was I wanted to,
It was an easy fit.
I wanted to bring in that kind of feel as well, because that's what I always wanted.
Now, did you bring any of the guys from the Mojos?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, we brought that whole horn section.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, we for a while there. The
So
only
you stole that whole horn section.
well, we like to say
Never said it was okay. 'Cause that was my band, so yeah.
But yeah, for a while there, the only difference between the two bands was the harp player.
Yeah.
We had Scott Gillespie on harp, and he had Tony on harp.
Yeah,
and, Tony Medina, and yeah, that was the only difference. It was the same band, depending which it just got booked different ways, you know.
Right.
And then over time, he just stopped booking Maxwell Mojos often, and we just kind of assimilated him.
It's much easier when someone else is doing the booking, right? Tom likes booking.
I actually do.
Yeah.
I actually do.
Well, it's always the drummer. It's always the drummer, I find out. I don't know why. And now, Mike, what do you play?
I am the lead vocalist and rhythm guitarist.
Okay.
And I think, with the exception of a couple of horn players, I think I'm the least tenured in the band. I filled in on occasion for about a year prior before Tom asked me to actually
She didn't
join
even
the
think
band
about anything.
officially,
It's
which
got
was just
3 on it.
not this past January, but a year ago January. So I've been with the band for about a year and 3 months.
That's it. I see.
And it was funny. He actually poached me from a band called Forget Hannah, which was completely different genre. It was, I guess you could call it. We were like an adult contemporary pop band, doing things like Green Day and Three Doors Down, and Matchbox 20 and stuff. But I always wanted to be in a rhythm and blues band, and I had been in rhythm and blues bands over the years, but I couldn't find one that played enough to satisfy my musical needs, and I joined these guys, and I don't have time for another project, which is exactly what I was looking for. This type of music, this type of a band, and the whole bit. So.
Speaking of that, I see you guys are playing quite a bit.
Yeah. Right now we're sitting on about 55 shows on the calendar right now.
Yeah, so you're booked into next year.
Yeah. Into next summer already. Oak Fest put us on their bill already, and then we just got done with the Wine on the Fox over in Oswego, and then we were only home a couple hours, and they got a hold of us and said, we want you back for next year. So now that one's on the books too. It's been a good run of things. I mean, these guys, it's an easy band to book because I'm blessed to have the players I got. I really am. I mean, it makes all the difference in the world. These guys are great. There's no egos. There's no real issues. I suppose that at some point there probably is here and there, but nothing significant. And it's great. They're great players. Well, you guys came out, so I mean, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to play with this band.
What Tom doesn't tell you is at band meetings he just puts a pistol on the table and says, "Anyone have any problems?"
There never seems to be.
No.
You must like the booking stuff, obviously, if you're booked into next year already.
Oh yeah. No,
he's a machine.
I do. I like having the calendar full.
Yes.
Tom is actually the kind of the unsung hero. We don't even give him a vocal mic during performances, mainly because of her fear of what he's going to say into the vocal mic. But he sits back there. He's the drummer. I'm kind of like the Hootie of the band. Everybody assumes that Darius Rucker was the leader of Hootie and the Blowfish, but because all of the attention falls to the guy standing up front. But Tom's the guy that books the band. 99.9% of the bookings are done by Tom. And I think our attitude is okay, Tom, put us on the stage and we'll make it easy for for them to book us.
You take care of that, we'll take care of this.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's a maturity level too. When you have the right players that have the right maturity level, alluding to the fact that maybe there's egos, but I think everybody in the band is mature enough to realize, wait a minute, I'm kind of taking on an ego here, and and they police themselves, which is the great thing.
So where'd the name come from? Cadillac Groove.
Man, I don't even.
We all drive Cadillacs.
That's pretty groovy.
I think when I started a band, I think I just put it on Facebook that I'm starting a band. I need a cool name, and I asked for suggestions, and I think that we just started mixing them together. I really don't even know where it came up with it. Yeah, I don't know.
Just one day it was there.
It was just one day. It was just.
No, it's perfect because when you look at recording labels and musical stories of people that play the genre of music that we play, for some reason the Cadillac was always the status symbol.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you think of Cadillac Records, you know, and the whole, everybody wanted a Cadillac and the whole, it's perfect.
How many blues songs talk about a Cadillac?
Cadillac.
Cadillac is the I made it car.
Right. Well, even country songs, a lot of country songs.
Yeah.
Like that, you know.
Guitars and Cadillacs and hillbilly music.
Graduate from the pickup.
Well, it keeps me going on.
And that's kind of how we always picked our music too. It was always based on the groove. You know, it was always based on this song just has an awesome groove. Or we find a version of this song. It's like, yeah, that's a great song, but this version of it has a way better groove. You know, like we do Joss Stone's version of Some Kind of Wonderful.
Yeah.
Just because it's like fucking smokes. It's stuff like that. You know.
Even last night at rehearsal, I played something. I played a Tower of Power version of a tune. And
who is he and what does he mean to you?
Who is he and what is he to you? The Bill Withers tune, but the Tower of Power version, the funk on that. I mean, it's Tower of Power, right? So,
well, they're superb.
And regardless of what we do, we always end up making it our own, like our version of Whipping Post.
Right.
You know, that started off to be the Mods version.
The Mods from the 70s.
Yeah, but I go back and I listen to that version just to always stand out. It's not the same. We've even turned to that into our own version of Whipping Post.
Right.
You know?
But even when I played him that groove, and Mike looks, he goes, "I will not be able to live another day unless we do play that groove." Like it's just
that's what makes a band unique and different than everybody else. You know, but you make that your original.
Oh yeah,
you make that original.
Yeah.
You make your songs original. Right. So tell me about. Have you guys done any recording?
We do it. We've done a couple things, just promo kind of stuff.
Right.
You know, since it's all covers tunes that we do. You know, I mean, everything we do it's R&B, funk, all the standard kind of stuff, soul tunes and rock and roll and blues and that.
Right.
But we don't do any original stuff. But we've done a couple of recordings here and there for our own promo stuff and to do as a soundtrack for the video and different things like that.
Yeah.
But nothing significant now.
Nobody in the group's a writer that wants to come up with something.
I think we've all.
That's a different story.
I've written, you've written, yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We definitely have writers in the home, but that's not this organization.
No desire for anything like that.
Right. Not. I mean, there's really no purpose.
Well, there's so much great music already available.
Oh sure.
No, I understand.
I mean, we all have our. I do acoustic solo projects every now and then, and I work with other guys. I work with a 4-piece blues band on occasion, and we all have our outlets for creativity and things like that, but that's not really the collective effort of Cadillac Groove. So
that's good. Just everybody understands, what you guys are doing, and that's.
I always tell people, I say, our job is not really the making music. It's getting people out dancing and moving and buying drinks, and it's just music's how we do it, right? That's our tool.
Right.
So a lot of times, because I played in all original bands and stuff, and if people don't recognize it right away, unless you've got fans that are following you all over the place.
Very, very true. Yeah.
But they hear a Stevie Wonder song, and all of a sudden, the floor is full.
Right.
It's like, I have a lot more fun with that than like the ego of going, my song's getting played.
Right.
Right.
And it all goes back to what I said before about I want to play a lot. Yeah. I'm not the kind of musician. I'm not happy with a gig a month. I'm not happy with 2 gigs a month. If I go a week and I don't get the opportunity to play, my wife wants me to leave the house. I want to play, and let's face it, there's not a lot of venues around here that are just going to book an original band as often as we play.
Yeah.
So
and pay you enough money to actually get in the car and go.
Right.
So the summer season's coming on, so I'm sure you guys got a lot of festivals you're going to be doing.
We have a few fests. We do a lot of the concert apart kind of shows.
You see what he just did? Whenever anybody asks, wait, what are you guys playing next? He reaches into his back pocket and pulls out this piece of paper.
This piece of paper is my Bible, man. It tells me every date that's available, and you never know who you're going to run into.
For those who can't see the
in the middle of an
visual.
insurance interview.
For those who can't see the visual, Tom has this double-sided 2 sheets of paper that is like folded 8 times.
It's gold.
And it's always in his pocket. I guarantee you.
It is color-coded.
It's damp. The letters are a little blurred from the moisture.
He's a sweaty man.
Always ready with a DNA sample.
So what are some of your gigs?
Going to be out in Sandwich at Lee's place. We'll be on the rooftop actually in Joliet right before you guys.
That's right.
You guys are playing the next weekend or the next event. We're on the 23rd of May.
We're there,
which is always a great show.
We're there when?
you guys are the very next. Can they do? I think 5 of them a summer or something like that. We're doing the first one. You guys are doing the second.
Oh, okay.
I remember seeing the thing. I just got the thing from the museum.
Yeah, we also hire him out as a manager. So if you guys need somebody to keep your gigs for you.
They don't have 2 separate things to pay for.
Exactly. I got 2 back pockets.
I worry about the next gig, and then I worry about the next one. One at a time.
I'm like you. There's times where I wake up in the morning and go, how am I playing today? That's why I try and figure it out.
Well, that's a good thing.
Bolingbrook Park District.
We're going to be doing the Bolingbrook Park District over at the Performing Arts Center over there. We'll be there in July. We're going to be up at Morton Arboretum this summer. We'll be at Chicago Botanical Gardens.
We're doing Romeo Fest, which is a hard gig to get.
Yeah, we're going to be in Romeo Fest.
And luckily for us, because Rib Fest is moving to Romeoville, so maybe we got a switch going out.
And we're also doing at the Joliet Speedway for the big NASCAR weekend.
Right.
We are the infield band for that Saturday night.
Oh, wow.
So that should be an incredible party.
Wow, that's very cool.
Yeah, so hopefully we make it out of there with our gear.
So the success of the band has really taken off quickly. I mean, pretty quickly in a matter of 3 years or 4. 6 years together, but
really, it's since we opened up with the horns.
Right.
Since it became an 8-piece band.
Right.
There's a few other bands out there. We're not the only horn band.
Sure.
Titan. You guys did an interview with them not too long ago.
Right.
They're a great horn band. There's Sundance. There's a lot of great horn bands out there. We happen to be the best one.
Unbiased opinion.
But I think that's a huge difference. It used to be, in the 70s, every band had at least one horn player,
Right.
and usually, a tenor sax if nothing else,
Right.
And so now nobody's carrying horn players, and so you go in and people are just, all you have to do, pretty much just stand them up there and put shiny brass in front of them, and people are like, wow, this is awesome,
Saturday night, the Dancing Noodles had their 35th anniversary.
Oh, that was a hell of a brass section.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And they're good just the way they are.
We had 5 horns going.
You guys had some killer players that night.
Yeah.
It was really a good show.
Speaking of shows, tell me about your show. I know you guys march around the place, which I thought was awesome.
That's a New Orleans influence. I don't know where we all came, about that. I'm originally from the New Orleans area.
Okay.
But a lot of people in the band love that sound, that rhythmic sound. Maybe it was before my time. Maybe you have a better story where it came from, but we all love to do it.
It's a happy sound. It's uplifting. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, like Scott always says in our show, in New Orleans they'll have a parade for anything. It could be a wedding, a funeral, Tuesday. It doesn't matter. We're having a parade, right?
I want my funeral to be a New Orleans funeral.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
It's a celebration.
I'm trying to think of how that. I want to say that was like a party in the park that we were doing or something, and I seem to remember there was like steps, right? Everyone was kind of stepped up in this amphitheater.
Shorewood, actually.
Yeah, might have been. Yeah, I think
Mike's
it was
first job with us.
Yeah, it was absolutely.
And I always go with the wireless,
that was
but
the first
horns.
time that happened.
Yeah,
I was there for the inauguration.
See?
Yeah.
But some of the horns had a wireless too, and I'm like, hey, come on, let's just ham it up. Let's just have some fun. And people dug it, and so there's some shows too. We'll have people marching behind us, and I'll look behind me, and I got like 60 people
handing out tambourines and parasols and hankies, and let them kind of
But it all goes back to like the one thing that I always try to do is make sure that people feel like they're part of the party, right? I never want to be like up there and just playing and kind of like staring at my shoes. I want people to be like, man, I had fun.
Right.
You know, not, oh, this band is really good. It's like, no, I want people to walk away from that and go, I had fun.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, we just did a show at Hollywood and Aurora, and in the writer on their contract said that the band cannot leave the stage.
Right? We didn't know what to do with
Oh my God, it was like caged animals up there.
No drinking, couldn't leave the stage.
Yeah,
and we're like,
I sent the text to these guys. I don't think I've ever done a complete show where I've stayed on stage the entire time. I don't know what to do.
we do a lot of stuff like that. You know, there's some songs where you know, we'll even embarrass a heckler a little bit just for fun. You know, we had where was it that this lady had called out something about, you know, play something good. We said, okay, for the next song we're going to play something good, and we're going to play something. She goes, well, play something good. And then me and Mike look at each other and we smile and we go, I know what we're doing. So he put a chair out in the center of the floor,
center of the dance floor.
Sat her down in the center of the dance floor and performed You Could Leave Your Hat On. The horn players were coming up and leaning into her while they were playing solos. It was just, and that was the best way I've ever seen a heckler get put down. That was
She didn't speak for the rest of the night. It was pretty good.
Did she enjoy it?
What was great about that was, like you said, the horn players came down, you came down, the whole band got involved in this thing, and we're all dancing around this poor woman, and she had no idea that this was about to happen to her. She had the time of her life, but she also knew she didn't want that to happen again.
I will measure my words a little bit more next time.
It was almost a Me Too moment. We didn't cross the line, but
you know, it's like put your money where your mouth is. You know,
you mean like a Me Too? No, not the way that.
But I think if there were some of the women there wanted to heckle because I think they kind of liked the attention she was getting.
Sure, yeah.
Want to mention some of the other guys in the band besides the three?
Yeah, absolutely. Now we got Ron Regnus playing bass, or Spin Daddy. He goes by Spin Daddy.
Okay.
Who is one of the coolest dudes on the planet?
It's my human antidepressant.
Yeah, he is awesome.
Yeah.
He is
that
awesome.
man is the single-handed reason I don't take Zoloft or Prozac or anything. He is just a ball of happiness all the time.
Yeah.
He's got a way of...
I don't think he's ever shaken a person's hand. He only hugs.
Yeah. He only hugs. That is true.
Yeah.
Do you have to lay down on the couch for this?
And then Tim Romanowski, Doc, he plays keys. And then we have Kevin Gawthorpe on sax. He plays, you know Kevin? You kind of picked up. He played with the Flat Cats for a long time. He plays with Rosie and the Rivets. He plays with
Rosie and the Rivets, sure.
Yeah, he plays with a ton of guys. He plays Barry, tenor, flute, the whole 9 yards. And then Jeff Choate on trumpet, and John Harp on.
Who was a great find.
Oh yeah. He was our diamond in the rough. He had stopped playing for a long time.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
And he came out. Mike and Scott host the open jam over at Grubin's here in downtown Plainfield.
Oh, okay.
Every 1 week it's Scott, next week it's Mike, right? But they're both there every night, so it's like they host it every night. And
what night is that?
Thursdays.
Thursday nights in Grubin's downtown Plainfield. Yeah.
Today's podcast is brought to you by Grubin's.
And best $5 burger. You know, there you go.
Yeah.
And but he came out there and he hadn't played horn. I don't know how long he'd said he'd stopped. Quite a few years. And they kind of drew it out of him. He's like, well, come on up, just play a little.
His wife looks and said, he plays trumpet. and I looked at him, where the hell's your horn? And he goes, no. And I said, well, bring it out next week, man. Let's see. And so he came out, and I'm like, okay. Now he's got some chops. You know, a little rusty. He's got some chops. And then within like 3 weeks, I was telling him, I'm like, I think I found our new trumpet player. Man.
He just needed a couple of people to tell him that he's good because I don't think he believed it himself. And just the energy. I mean, he plays his. I swear to God, the way he plays his trumpet, it almost sounds like a guitar player using a wah-wah. He's got this. In my opinion, he's got a really unique style,
great tone,
a great way to approach his phrasing the whole bit. It really is. That's what attracted me to him. He's really good.
Has he played with anybody else before you guys, or?
As far as I know, no. But I really don't.
I think high school and college, you know, he did jazz band kind of stuff with that. I don't know if there's any other bands, like rock bands.
Yeah, I don't know.
So that's new and exciting for him, something, right?
Oh, yeah. He's taken to it, too. It really is.
Well, and he's also been very, very good at getting a lot of our charts together and really organizing the section because, you know, I can do a lot of that stuff, but I'm not a horn player.
Right. Well, horn players are a different breed of people, I think.
Yeah.
Different breed of musician.
That's for sure. That's for sure. And then John Hart plays trombone for us. And John's been playing a long time. He plays in a band, Soul Papas. And then I'm trying to think what else he does. I think it's just us and Soul Papas, I believe, right now.
Yeah.
And but he's been awesome. He really has.
Yeah, last Saturday night he blew me away. He was really good last Saturday night, for sure.
So it's been great. It really has. And like I say, since, you know, with the addition of the horns, it adds such a huge sound.
Yes, yeah.
You know, you got 3 horns underneath the whole thing. You can play anything, and we do Lagrange, right, with a horn section, and it's like this big. You know,
it's top with horns.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Last week I found myself playing, and I was just staring at the horn section. Yeah, right. I go, I forgot.
Because they're handsome gentlemen.
I mean, just because it sounded so awesome, and we had gone through so many years with just a saxophone player, but having the whole horn section,
wall of sound,
it was just unbelievable.
You know, we kind of skipped over Doc a little bit.
Oh yeah,
you know, I first met Doc at Grubin's at the Open Jam, and I guess his style is so incredibly unique. He's got this keyboard that sits on a stand.
But it doesn't stand very long.
He bounces this keyboard
on his knees.
From knee to knee.
I noticed that.
He moves it around in the whole bit, and he can sing as well. And you know, my wife's been coming out and seeing me play for 25 years or so, and recently she stopped coming as much because she's like, yeah, whatever, I've seen you do that before.
Yeah.
And she's come out to a couple of shows, and she was at her show last week, and she told me, she goes, "Who's your keyboard player?" I said, "Oh, that's Doc." She goes, "I absolutely love him." She goes, "Keyboard players usually bore the hell out of me, but he is the most exciting keyboard player. He's one of the best musicians in your band, and that's the truth. He really is."
That's cool.
That's great. That's great. That's cool. Where'd you find him?
At the jam.
Yeah, you'd be shocked at the talent that goes through those doors.
Oh, yeah.
Just 100 feet away from here.
That's every Thursday, huh?
Every Thursday, yeah.
9 o'clock, right? Or 8 or 9 o'clock?
8.
House band starts at 8. Jammers start at 9. Yep.
8:45.
8:45. Yeah.
Depends on if I have to get food or a beer.
Right.
Well, that's very cool. That's very cool. Well, so tell us where can people find you guys?
Easiest place is either at CadillacGroove.com. Our whole schedule is there, or on Facebook. You know, certainly. That's probably everything is always updated. You know, one way or the other. In one of those places, you know, and we are everywhere. I mean, we play everywhere from just south of the Cheddar Curtain all the way into northwest Indiana. You know, But yeah, it's not hard to have a Cadillac Groove show in your backyard because we're just about everywhere, at one place or another. Actually, going to do that in Lansing 3 times this year.
Yeah. In Lansing?
Yeah, they built that new Fox Point thing. So we're doing like a concert in the park on a Wednesday night or a Thursday night. Yeah. And then we're doing Autumn Fest in
Autumn Fest
in the autumn. Yeah, go figure. When is Autumn Fest? When is this year?
Autumn Fest is cool.
When is the 4th of July this year?
I don't know, but if I can figure out Cinco de Mayo, I'm good.
Yeah, and actually, we're going to be doing Wine Fest in Munster too, in the fall.
Alrighty, guys. Well, I want to thank you for your time and tell us your stories.
Oh, hey, cheers, guys.
Yeah. Cheers. Yep.
Thank you.
Salute.
There we go. I think that's the first for the podcast.
Clinking glasses means someone's having fun.
That's right. That's right.
Same old place, my sweet home, Chicago. Oh, come on.
Paul, you were right. Them guys are hilarious. That was a lot of fun.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. We had a good time with them, and I hope everybody gets a chance to go out and see them soon because they are a fun band. They're the same way on stage.
They are. They're a bunch of fun guys, and they got a lot of shows coming up. They're almost as busy as the other horn band. What is it with these horn bands and being so busy?
Yeah, well, horn bands are making a comeback, it looks like.
That's right, because horn bands rock, you know.
Yes, they do. Well, we want to thank everyone for listening to this episode with Cadillac Groove. And check them out on Facebook or at CadillacGroove.com. And thank you once again for listening. Don't forget to subscribe.
Mm-hmm. And like our Facebook page and find us on iTunes, on Stitcher, on iHeart, on Google Play. Wherever you can get a podcast, you can find Rock and Roll Chicago.
All right. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.
See you next week.
Thank you.